Right. Hello and welcome to Search Party's Playback series. So this is the show where we sit and chat about local music. We'll play a few of our favourite tracks and we'll get fabulous artists in to speak with us about what they have going on as well. For this week's episode, we have the fantastic Funeral Rose.
Thank you very much.
Guys, thanks for coming in. So first off, introduce yourselves for our lovely audience.
Well, we're the Funeral Rose. We're a three-piece synth band, and from Belfast, Lisburn, and technically Newcastle, but
yeah. Everywhere.
Exotic
Anywhere.
destinations.
India sometimes.
So next up, we're talking about COVID and starting a band during that time. Were you playing with any other projects before, or what started, the sort of collaboration between you guys?
Yeah, I guess we were both in bands. We were both bass players in bands, and we just sort of felt like creatively neglected. So we
As many bass players do.
Yeah, so we came together and we were like, we want to make 80s goth music with synthesizers. And I was like, I have a synthesizer. And he was like, I have a synthesizer.
Level?
and our brains merged.
Yeah.
And who's the third member that unfortunately can't make it with us today?
Pierce.
Is Pierce like...
He is a ghost
Is Pierce
from
like
the
paced out?
1800s.
What if Pierce doesn't like us anymore?
They just don't work. They told us.
Yeah, I
They're
guess so.
paranoid.
We were looking for a guitarist because we're not very good at guitar. So we've got...
Speak for yourself.
I'm not very good at guitar, and Eva's okay, but Eva can't
I'm
play
a
guitar
genius
live
at
and play
guitar,
bass.
but I'm just really modest about it, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm a bassist.
And so then you got together just over a year ago and started making this funky synth music, which is awesome. But as I said, it's in the middle of COVID, so it's hard for you then to get into that rhythm of, get a set together and, start booking gigs and stuff. So
Yeah.
what's the plan now, that the project is only started in pandemic times? Is it now to sort of think a year in, okay, now, does that feel weird?
No, I think we sat down and we put together a set list of songs that we'd like to do, and we're still kind of playing about with what ones we like.
Yeah, what works. And
What
doesn't.
works and what doesn't, and we practiced a few of them. And because it's with synth stuff, I think one of the big things is figuring out how you're going to play it live, because there's so many elements.
Yeah.
A
There's
billion years to set up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
plugging 37 things in, and you can sequence stuff, but then it's you need 30 sequencers and they're really expensive, or you can do a laptop, and then I feel like our souls are being crushed by plugging in a laptop on stage.
We hate digital. We're
I feel a bit wrong doing
Analog
that,
revolution
but
is
at the
here,
same
really.
time, we kind of have to, and it's a bit sad, but how else we're gonna, otherwise it just sounds a bit shit.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to need either a lot of money or
really
a
like
30-piece synth orchestra to pull it off. We're actually we're actually in a similar boat at the minute, where over lockdown we started making wee demos and injecting a bit of synth and keys and stuff into the back of the songs, whereas before we would have just done the sort of typical 4-piece stuff, but now it's okay, well, how do we do this live? Because it's not just that we've had a few guys in jamming with us on synth, but it's not just one synth part. It's not just there's a wee lead line here, but you've got a random Rhodes that's minus 30 dB underneath the track, but you feel it's empty without it. And laser sounds and gunshots, and so you're how do we put this all into a live set without just hitting play?
I think that was a similar sort of thing, where it's just you want to put everything in, just get everything in that you can.
Remember when we were recording the single at Start Together Studios, and we like there was an organ there and like loads of cool synths, and we were just going mad.
Do
like,
everything,
can we
do
put
everything.
everything in the song, and now we're like,
How do
how are we
we
gonna play this
recreate
live?
that on stage?
Yeah,
And it's like,
it's definitely
as
one of the
well,
struggles.
I think my first two synthesizers that I was using were like, you couldn't have presets. So it's like, on stage, am I going to change every single knob to like make a sound? And it's just, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
it's different than like if you have guitar pedals.
you can like see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
turn it,
step on
if it's an
them.
analog one, you turn it off and on, and you just leave the knobs the same as they were. Or if it's a
Yeah.
digital one, you can just go
We preset. Yeah.
we preset. But yeah, that's the thing with analog synths as well. A funny story about that. I went to Ten's Fiddle about 6-7 years ago, and I can't remember who was like the main act I was there to see, but one of the support acts was Labyrinth, and before you knock it, like I was going Labyrinth, he's like a pop sort of like or slice like rap sort of thing, and I just sort of disregarded it and was like, I'm not really here to see him. On stage he like had like a pure like 4 modular synths,
Jesus.
and he was programming it live while playing it, and I was like, what is going on? Like and I like watched a load of his stuff after, and like and he was on Jules Holland and stuff after that doing the same thing, and I was like, this man's a genius. Like I really didn't pay the man no credit, but yeah, we side note there.
Yeah.
But without sidetracking too far, because I could talk about Simpson trying to put that into a live set all day, but we'll move on to our pick of the day, and today it is going to come courtesy of Mob Wife, and we're going to play Brand New House. So there you have it.
Different times and different hair, a lot less smoke then. I found my life behind supermarkets, closed the door to the misfits, and I fell for suburban outfits, lost virginities on bad mattresses. A brand new house, love inside. A brand new house. Clothes never dry here, never did. FIFA 10 on a tiny TV. Drum blue in the skirting boards. Dustin saddle on floorboards. Big ass 12-inch next to me. Tattoo vouchers on tattoo vouchers. Got this friend, he never listens. Best to leave now before we go. In a brand new house. A brand new house with love inside. Difference of opinion. Pay for the rent. And I won't go if you won't go down the road. Brand new house. A brand new house with love inside.
Okay, and welcome back. So you're listening to Search Party's Playback series, and we were listening to the new Mob Wife track. Thanks for tuning in, and before we go any further, just a reminder about this series, in the fact that it is done in partnership with radioynp. It's broadcast on there, and it is supported by Youth Action's Our Story in the Making project. And as part of that project as well, just a wee opportunity I want to let you in on, is their next big thing competition, which is a songwriting competition for artists in Northern Ireland to submit one of their tracks, and there's a grand prize of £4,000 and studio time and all that there. Yeah, like,
Didn't know about that.
yeah, exactly.
We were at
Now
the
you
top.
know. Now you can enter. Obviously we have a conflict of interest here, but yeah, fabulous prize for anybody who wins it. But we are back with Funeral Rose, and we were chatting all things synths and live music and stuff like that. But now I want to chat about, you know, what you have going on in the future now. You know, what's the next plans? Now you have the single out, and as have been developing the set. What's next for Funeral Rose?
Well, we were actually talking earlier to Star Record.
Yeah, Star Records and
They
Belfast.
were talking to us about maybe doing a Halloween gig.
That's
So
awesome.
That's pretty
that'll be
goth.
fun.
That's pretty
Yeah.
goth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Major golf points for that.
Our first single was actually released on Halloween, last
Yeah.
Halloween, which is quite funny.
We're
Brilliant.
big fans of Halloween.
I like Halloween.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, the yous are very influenced by, you know, like the sympathy goth music and that whole movement. What's some of like the main influences like you sort of draw from?
Like, The Cure, Joy Division, Depeche Mode, Sisters of Mercy. Mostly 80s bands, but some modern bands as well, like Lebanon, Hanover, Molchat Doma, things like that.
Yeah, because that's the thing, you know. I know all the, you know, 80s bands is brought up there, you know, very popular, but just you know, now like there was a big, you know, great contingent of like that type of music, you know, a couple of decades ago, but it's just sort of like, well, you still have all those revival movements of a lot of sort of genres that have, you know, died away since the 80s, you know, like you don't hear an awful lot of those bands who are making that type of symphony stuff now.
Yeah, there's no Molchat Doma. They had a single that was massive on TikTok, but their other songs are amazing. I think they're doing a gig down in Dublin, but they're from Belarus, and all their equipment is like super old, like
Yeah.
stuff. It's
I feel like
class.
there is like definitely a big kind of revival happening of like analog synths and 80s music, and yeah, like the reason we kind of formed our band was because we just felt like there was a massive vacuum, especially like locally. There was just
Yeah.
no one else really doing that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
there's people who use synthesizers, but it's like how much.
Yeah.
And loads of like dance music artists and stuff use
Yeah.
analog gear, but it's like a completely different way of using it.
Yeah, it's like, this is synth rock, but like with synthesizers had its like foundation, rather than being like, here's a rock song and here's like a synth line over the
Yeah,
top of
I
it.
feel like we use guitar as like a bass layer rather than a not like low end. I mean, like as a I thought like it's more in the background, and some synth stuff is very
yeah, like
much
it's
in the
just
foreground.
adding
It's like
on, but
they've sort of swapped
Yeah.
roles. We use guitars for chords
feel
and
like it's
synths
also
for
very
leads.
like,
Really,
yeah, like
it's
the way
also
I write,
super
I'm,
bass heavy.
like
yeah.
as a bassist, I write like a bass riff before doing anything else. Whereas
Yeah,
like a lot of musicians would do it maybe another way around. So
and in a way that's again like really tying into the whole Joy Division type of vibe as well. You know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
leaning heavy into the bass riff too, and you can definitely hear that in the single, definitely. But another thing I wanted to chat to you about today was, you know, your sort of interest in local music, and you mentioned about, you know, you'd like looked about locally and seen that like nobody was doing this type of music, but outside of that, you know, what artists are you into from here?
I would say like
There's a lot actually.
yeah,
Because we're really into punk and stuff as well.
yeah.
So
Like I
there's
was in
loads
a
of
punk
really
band
good punk
before
bands.
the Funeral Rose, so like I would have been about the scene a lot, and like I would kind of say like I think Problem Patterns are one of like my favorite kind of local
Yeah.
artists. I think what they're doing is
Mhm.
just like great.
Problem
Yeah.
Patterns are fantastic.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
And as standard with like our series, you know, we always get a band to suggest a song for us to play on the air. So if he's got a track that you just want us to play from a local act.
Yeah, I would say their single Terfs out. I was
Terfs
listening to
out.
it earlier, and I just think it's great.
Yeah.
It's class.
Let's give it a listen. We'll be back with you in a few moments.
Terfs out! You don't speak for me! And sister is spelled with an S, not a C. Terfs out! It's just bigotry! We all need more accountability! Standing with your oppressors will not make you more free. You can't tear down who built up our community. 'Cause LGB is nothing if not for the T. So show up with some real solidarity. Tired comedians trying to stay relevant. Listen to that old head we used to adore when he sang. That joke isn't funny anymore. A vile veil of faux feminism, but you can't claim ignorance. You know exactly what you've been doing, and you know your influence. They claim their discourse is defending women, when it is just another way of controlling our bodies. It is trans misogyny, trans exclusionary radical feminists, aka Terfs, claim that word is a slur. Yet throw violent hate speech against anyone who does not fit their increasingly small view of what it is to be a real woman. A real woman is not down to her reproductive system. A real woman does not look a certain way. A real woman is whoever she wants to be. And real feminism would never leave her out, because feminism is for everybody, every single body, not just the bodies that you are comfortable with. Terfs out!
Okay, and we're back. So we were listening to Problem Patterns there on the show, and be sure to hit them up on their socials and on Spotify. I'm not sure if Problem Patterns have a band camp. I've been plugging people's band camps, but without even knowing if they have one. But yeah, guys, it's been phenomenal having you on. It's been a good crack. But before I go, I just want to ask is, you know, what you want the plug on the show? Is there anything you want the people to know what you have going on?
It's that Halloween gig. We're
Yeah,
trying
Star
to
Records.
hopefully as well
Hope.
get more gigs eventually. Like we're trying to be more active on Instagram especially, and like I don't know, letting people know what we're up to, and hopefully
We're really bad at posting. on
recording
social
other
media.
music as well.
I'm the
We're like
same
trying
boat.
to got a few things
Yeah,
going with that.
Eva's got a competition a music competition.
It's
to
not a
go through.
competition. It's
Oh, it's not a competition.
non-hierarchical.
It's a studio opportunity to record. Is it an analog
Yeah, it's
catalog
analog
you're recording?
catalog. Yeah.
So we're taking a bit of a break from making new stuff until she's finished, but that'll be done after Halloween, and I have like 1 million demos to show her once she's done. But we're still working, like trying to get gigs and stuff, and hopefully we can do this Halloween show with Star Records. So everybody should go to that. Even if we're not playing, everybody should go to that
We
because
are,
Star
yeah.
Records are class.
They
Yes,
are.
we are.
We are playing them.
Gotta get those golf points for Halloween.
Yes, absolutely. It's critical that you play a Halloween gig. Like,
Yeah.
It'll be our first day.
Don't say it. We're professionals. We've done tons.
Yeah, we've done loads of gigs. No, well, it's not my first gig.
Yeah, it's not mine either. So.
Guys, I think we've been lying to you. We're not actually musicians. This is all an act. We just steal other people's music online and just post
We
it
aren't
as
even
our
in the
own.
funeral rose. We just.
We just turned up.
Yeah.
But you know, we need to plug those socials though.
Oh, yes.
So the funeral rose, go and find the guys on Instagram.
Spotify.
Yeah, it's at the Funeral Rose Band on Instagram, and that's just the Funeral Rose on Spotify, and I think on like Apple Music.
Wait, is it Funeral Rose Band? I thought it was just the Funeral Rose. Should we check it?
We'll fact check it.
We'll fact check it. Dub us over whenever.
Yeah, like have like
Get like an
a line,
automated like
our
text to
mouths
speech
moving,
voice.
and then just like us delivering the line really flat
Yeah.
with a complete different volume level.
So it'll be my voice saying it, but just over the yeah, so it's the funeral rose on Instagram.
I was right.
So
Sorry.
so go and find the spooky synth band from
Thank
Belfast,
you.
and go give them a wee follow there, and of course go stream Torn Apart on Spotify, and mentioning the song, we'll give it a wee play. The play is out for today. Guys, can't thank you enough for coming down,
That's
Thank you.
okay. Thank you.
and good luck at the gig at Star Records,
Thank you very
Thank
much.
and have a very spooky Halloween, folks.
Yes,
We definitely
indeed.
will.
Bye.
What a waste, rotting to the core, our planet being ripped and torn apart. They know what they're doing, but they'll never stop. More and more until they get their lot. They do not care for the destruction they leave behind. Why can't you see what they're doing to this land? Why won't you stop them, even though you can?
Money in the pocket of the heads of state. It's the industry, the rules I saw.